Is the audio good? Waiting to see if the audio is good. Is the audio good? Is the audio good? Okay, good. So I'm charging up my car so that I can get to my first campaign event of the day. It was raining up in Cleveland, and obviously with the roadworks, it took longer than expected because nobody can drive, right? But I wanted to tell you guys something that I don't think is clear to people. Gosh, there's like a car alarm going off. It's driving me insane. So here's what's not clear to people. These people are extremely sick. There's something severely wrong with our society. And I'm going to take you back for a bit. I want to remind you that Epstein began in Ohio. Enron began in Ohio. Pay attention, right? And they always said, as goes Ohio, so does the nation. It's important that we understand this statement is not just a random statement, right? This is reality. And a lot of the old adage is, hey, show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. Well, show me who your enemies are, and I will tell you what kind of fighter you are and what side you're on. I've noticed a huge uptick in people that are claiming to be conservative, siding with these insane pedophiles. Now, I can't speak to something yet because I had a conversation with my lawyer today, but I want you to think. Let's take it back a bit. In the state of North Dakota, if you actually read the case filings, not his, mine, right? The ones that the Supreme Court said they weren't going to throw out when he asked. They were demonstrating how he participated in moving humans, right, with federal and state tax dollars, right? The Attorney General. Look at where he is right now. And there's a lot more people in North Dakota from that Attorney General's office that are going down to his assistant, Liz Rocker, right? I think her name is. His assistant AGs, they're all under indictment. I'm just going to make that statement, right? What they did to me was normal. It was either we kill her, which would be, we don't know if she has anything, or we kill her name, which is a lot easier. And, if we believed everything that was in lawsuits, we'd believe that President Trump is a rapist. And all of these accusations that they said are true, that he's a thief of anything. So the hypocrites out there citing hit pieces from corrupt individuals about me is disgusting. Now, here in Ohio, though, something new just popped up. Let me show you who my enemies are. Former Obama employee who is now under Wexner's purview and working for the ICC is coming at my campaign. Documented. In collusion with the Ohio GOP. This means the Ohio GOP is working with Wexner. Okay? Les Wexner, remember, created Epstein. He bankrolled him. He created him. Right? On my website, there is an affidavit from one of the victims that said when she was a minor, she was trapped in his home in Ohio, right? And she couldn't get out. Do you remember that? Look it up. Her affidavit's there. She testified at Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, too. Now, a couple days ago, some friends said, hey, we believe that there may be communications going on, backroom dealings through private communications, not government documented conversations, right? Because they think they're sneaky. Because even the DHS is monitored by the NSA. So I think a day or so ago, I said, hey, Just in case anyone missed it, I actually trained in the underground bunker in Hawaii where Snowden trained, right? And I hope there aren't any communications between between the state's office and the Supreme Court of Ohio, because that is concerning. This is a problem. That's criminal, right? And then today, unexpectedly, all of the ohio.gov IPs that the DHS has, they're DHS IPs, remember that. DHS, they are not state owned. Every single, the cyber infrastructure of the state of Ohio is in the hands of DHS as of 2019. They all came down, right? And today, a conversation with my attorney and my team was, I am being targeted with frivolous stuff, but they do that to like hurt you, right? Or hoping to find something there when there isn't any. My face is so itchy. I broke out in a rash today. I think it's the new soap I'm using. Sorry for the redness. But what people need to understand is this is Les Wexner cooperating with the Ohio GOP. Not only that, we have people out there, like legit people. Their names, like one of them you guys saw in a live stream when I was talking with Steve Hertzberg and Lara Logan, some ugly chick with like these heart-shaped glasses. She actually ran as a write-in and got 38 votes. They dodged a bullet with that one. She's freaking obsessed. But here's the problem. You can hate me. I don't want you to like me. I don't even want you to trust everything I say, right? You don't have to like me. But right now, what they're doing is they're helping the pedophiles stay in power right now. And they're attacking me, but they're Christian people. And some of them committed actual crimes. And so, my attorney, the advice is to go file, but these people have children, right? And that could be really messy for them. There's a guy named Hayden who says that he fights for America and loves America, but he's actually promoting LaRose and taking down my signs. He got caught taking down my own yard signs, for Maris campaign himself. He got caught, right? And they claim that they love America, and they don't, because right now what they're promoting are the globalists. The ICC is not one to fuck with, right? Why would they be interested in someone like me who's supposedly so deranged, right? And so wrong. I'm actually one of the most qualified people right now anywhere to run for Secretary of State. Organizing shit, got it. Cyber infrastructure, I understand it. Elections, no brainer, paper. The problem that they have is that they know that when I come in, the first thing I'm targeting is the operation of Les Wexner. I am telling everyone right now, the minute I get into office, if God so be allows it, because I already won, right? My whole thing to run was so that I can start exposing the corruption within our elections, right? I have no personal aspirations. The last thing I want to do, I don't play nice, okay? I'm not a politician. I don't play nice. But on the first day, the first thing I'm going to do is give notice to Ohio State University and all other universities and all other organizations within my jurisdiction that they must remove the name Wexner from all of their big buildings. And they'll have 14 days. And once I do that, after that, according to their income, I will be charging them a daily fine of $1,000, $10,000, or $100,000 a day until they do it. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Once I get into office, if I get into office, if these elections actually happen too, right? You're going to watch them defend a pedophile. And this is how we bring America together, because what they're doing to children is disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. And the fact that the ICC, Ohio State University, wants to mess with me, I'm ready. I had a whole state. And if you think you're smarter than the people that look after me, because I have been under the purview of the federal government since 2014 when I left the IC community. So if any of you think that you're smarter than that, who have probed my life, I have been a victim of crimes. They have seen everything there is to see about me, inside and out. You're very mistaken. Yes, top echelon are corrupt. Yes, they are. They are. But there are good people that are fighting within all of our agency branches, looking after. So, my, I guess, statement out there is, don't tell me that you're conservative and love your country when you can support people that are funded by Pfizer, that are funded by the actual Epstein network. That is the one that is targeting me right now. Because I don't say everything I know, and I don't say everything I have. But the bottom line is, they're coming hard. Those are my enemies. And the fact that I have the Kathleen Bayers, the one with the glasses that wanted to hit me on live because I wasn't supporting her group, like, she's fucking crazy. Like, the woman is nuts. I am thinking of getting a restraining order, but, I know that she's a parent and I know that she has kids and that can affect it. They're crazy. They're really crazy. They're obsessed. 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 So obsessed. And the thing is, they're fighting on the wrong side. They're supporting these people, right? They can hate me. I don't care. You don't have to like me. It's not about you and your personal, issues. It's about our state and our country. And right now, when you see that the ICC and Les Wexner's cronies are coupling together with the Ohio GOP to come after me, that's a big deal, right? That is a very big deal. A huge deal. Because I am not seeking to go in there and become someone famous. I don't need anybody to tell me who I am. I'm going in there to clean things up, right? For me, I'm cleaning things up in the court. Supreme Court's been late. Should have had a decision on Friday. It's freaking Wednesday. Were we going to wait till after the elections? I mean, if I lose the elections, then I have the quo warranto standing too, don't I? See how that works? See, this is how I operate. I don't do things on, well, I do. I am spontaneous. But I don't do things on a whim like that. I spend every last minute and every last penny I have fighting for my country because I helped make this mess. So for any of you trolls out there, sit down. You can hate on me later. You can do all you want later. Right now, what you're putting in there is a globalist. And this is a very big problem. And I'm telling you, you will go down with them because I will be naming all of you in that document. Every single one of you. And your communities are going to tell you, why are you supporting Les Wexner? Why are you supporting Klaus Schwab? People don't seem to understand just how deep this network is. The deep state is very deep. It's at the heart of it all right here. And I've tried to reiterate it. And, my shows have always been about analyzing foreign and domestic policy from a perspective that a lot of people don't get, right? You don't get to hear it from people that can navigate it for you. It's more educational. So me running as an independent, I'm showing you the ups and downs of how you're not treated equally, how the Democrats and Republicans are established, and you must fit into the two-party system. Even though that two-party system has failed us for a decade, there are people that I see mindlessly, red wave, and it's like, why are you doing this? How has that worked out for you? Why are you still doing that? You should be paying attention to who's running, right? Here's me, little old me. I'm running as an independent. My media in the state of Ohio doesn't even mention that I'm on the ballot, right? There are Christian networks who are not even mentioning that I'm on the ballot, right? Newspapers not even mentioning that I exist, right? That's election meddling, right? CNN did a whole thing on Secretary of State, skipped over Ohio. MSNBC shut the fuck up real quick because they lied, but they got their little hit piece in, didn't they? Media Matters, you're in a lot of trouble. Mark Elias, if I were you, I'd be sitting on the edge of my seat waiting till I get rolled up, right? Because you are getting rolled up for what you're doing. And my campaign team is a bunch of people that are not professionals. They have read every paper that they've tried to study to figure out how to do things, and they are just fantastic because they're really the ones that are running. I'm just there to take the shots, right? They're the ones running. They're doing all the legwork. They're amazing. They're incredible people. And the fact that we have dangerous globalists right now targeting me and my campaign, that should tell you exactly where I stand. It's not a joke. While we think that politics is like this facade of people getting elected and getting in office, think about it. It's actually running for a job, right? And right now, my application for this job is being sabotaged intentionally. And not only that, I have people that pretend that they're all conservative, pretend that they love God, right? But yet they're funding the very people that cause the problem, the root of the problem. I know all of us are focused on elections, but we can't steer away from remembering that the right and the left has diverted our attention to the actual problem within our nation, and that is the trafficking of children and human beings. Remember, it was in Ohio where that lady was caught and arrested for like making millions of dollars selling children, right? That, what was it? Again, Ohio, right? Ohio, where, you know, she was selling Polish babies, like adoptions, and her son was at the FBI, and she got 3 months in prison making millions of dollars selling kids. She was from Strongsville, Ohio. It all comes here, right? This is where Epstein was born, right? This is where he was bankrolled. This is where he began. And it's so important that people understand that right now, because that is what it states. You can hate me. You can dislike me. I don't want you to like me. I'm not very likable either, okay? Because I am way too straight. But I can tell you one thing. When I see that the ICC and Wexner and the GOP are working together to come at me, that should tell you exactly where they sit. And that is not on the side of the people. You know, Frank LaRose, he has no ink poll pads in our state, which were part of Vodem, which was part of Conic. One bought the other. He's deploying, you know, internet voting. He's a globalist. He went on the explaining tour, remember? 2 things. 1, he went there, I went with the Republican delegation. No, you went with Cindy McCain and you fixed the election for Zelensky. And then when people ask you, you lied and said that you went to visit your sister who worked for the UN. We got both of those sound bites. You're a liar. You got caught. You need to tell the people why you handed over their infrastructure to the federal government. You need to tell the people why Rock the Vote and all these crazy people have access to their private identifying information because the BMV is privatized and you're selling that information. That is honesty, right? That is the problem. You need to tell people, you know, actually people need to read the case where he actually admits that he has no idea what the code is, you know, doesn't know what's happening, right? Hasn't seen the source code. And then when he filed a response to my lawsuit, seems like all of them have no idea how these voting machines work. You can tell from the response, right? Because I didn't ask for the whole source code. I asked for the counting software. So they can't even read because they don't even understand how they work because they're not in charge. Somebody else is, right? It's not about just the election machines. The election machines are the last leg of them just enslaving all of Americans, period. The problem is the human trafficking, the child trafficking. You know, you have to wonder, conversation today, and I kind of thought about, why would Oprah Winfrey and Bill Gates be funding Ohio? Right? This is a very big question. Very big question. It's a very big question. So for all of you out there that hate me, keep hating. But keep it to yourself for now. And try to help people break out of the cage. Because right now, what you're claiming is that we should vote for the same thing and expect a different result. That is the definition of insanity. The fact that Les Wexner is targeting my campaign right now in conjunction with the Ohio GOP, that's a very big deal. Why would Epstein networks target me while I'm campaigning? They actually, I can't talk about it. Gotta wait for my lawyer to say you can talk about it. Again, why would Epstein's networks target me? Why is the ICC targeting me? That's a really big deal. And when I see that local people in Ohio are just not understanding what's going on in their backyard, it makes me really, really sad. It makes me really, really sad. Very sad. Show me your enemies and I'll show you what side you're on. Right? And these are really dangerous enemies. Really dangerous enemies. I don't understand why the ICC, the Ohio GOP, and Les Wexner, Epstein's networks, right? Why would the Epsteins? This is beside me. So I hope this educational, thing helps you see, because you guys saw who the enemies of many big people have been. And that's how you can tell who's on what side, by their enemies. Remember, it was the right that told you Pizzagate wasn't real. You need to read the book Pizza Connection. That's a really older book with really big heavy hitters on it. Right? It makes me so upset and sad that people that actually live in Ohio have no clue that all of this goes on. Because it's kind of like news to them. Or, you hear this. Well, they're corrupt, they're rich and powerful. Well, what are you going to do about it? Can't do anything. Yeah, you can. Vote red. And it's like, so you're going to vote for the people that are globalists and are funded by the Epstein networks. Okay. Totally makes sense. And so I'm going to wait till my lawyer gets back to me, because he's traveling as well. But I wanted to put it out there. Wexner, GOP, and the ICC have targeted me. Why? You guys have a gag order in the media about me. None of you will even mention that I'm on the ballot. I mean, the Center for Christian Virtue violated their tax laws by not doing that. So that's a tax violation. They can explain that away. I wonder if Sandusky Register gets any tax stuff, because if they do, then that could be a problem. Anyway, I'm actually in shock, because people are not seeing what the big issue is here. I already said what I'm going to do. Day one. Right? That's number one. What else am I going to do? I'm going to issue a directive that there are no more corporate funding for candidates. I'm leveling the playing field so that you can run. Right? No more. No more corporate funding. If you want to run, you got to knock on doors. You're going to have people support you, or else no one will know about you and no one will vote for you. We are going to bring it back old school the way it is. And they're terrified, because their money machine is dead. I think it was in 2020 or 2021 that I said, I'm going to dismantle both parties. This is exactly what I want to do. Both parties need to go. We need the people of their communities to be running the show. They should be on the school boards, not the rich and famous, not the ones backed by the corporations that dictate our policy. The people. They're terrified because no one would ever dare do something like that. I am. I'm definitely doing it. No more corporate funding for anyone running in office in Ohio. Ever. And that's the way it is. And then you watch just how different elections are. When actual people retirees that are like, you know what? I could go serve my city council now that I turned 65. Yes, sir, you shall. You know what? My kids just flew the coop. I'm going to go run for school board and make sure that everything's perfect. Yes, ma'am, you should. That's how you make change. Enough of the corporate interests. Enough of these sick people. These people are insanely sick. They're sick in the head. Sick. It's horrific. And I hope you guys understand that. For those of you in Ohio, Epstein began in Ohio. Don't forget the woman. Let me find her name. I think her name was Cole. Is she a Republican? Let me take a look. Give me a second. Still have some charge time to go. Charging my car. Who was her name? Ohio woman pleads guilty to adoption fraud scheme that led to hospitalization of a Polish child. Her son was in the FBI, who obviously knew what she was doing. Her name is Margaret Cole, former executive of European Adoption Consultants, EAC, in Strongsville, Ohio. She just pled guilty, but she only got 3 months, right? Because her son works for the FBI, and he inherited the company too. Kind of sounds like an Epstein scheme, only without the modeling agencies. She had to pay a $7,500 fine, 3 months in federal prison, and 3 years supervised release. She's 74 years old, suffered from PTSD, blood pressure, and vertigo. 74. So that means her business was running in the state of Ohio under Frank LaRose. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? She was running her business in Ohio under Frank LaRose. But see, if people actually did their job in the Secretary of State's office, we wouldn't have business like that operating. Do you know that there's a business called Vodem in Ohio that's based out of Nigeria? Like what? Like what? Right. So again, my enemies are huge. Huge. I don't fight, some people, they're just mentally ill or just, Happy Meal short a couple French fries. You don't deal with people like that. I deal with big enemies. I take down big enemies. I targeted the Sinaloa cartel. I have taken down myself, a deputy U.S. Marshal, a U.S. Marshal, couple of sheriffs, couple of cops. I did that. You weren't around to see it because I did that in the silence, not telling you to tell you, oh, look, but I did that. And those that know who I'm talking to, please don't push my hand to waste my time with stupid shit like this. Because you know what? God takes care of everything. And to him you cannot hide. I want everyone to remember, everything you do, every intention you have, he sees. And he will pay you back 1,000,000 times. Ever since, my intentions have changed. Right? And I'll tell you this, just to end it like this. My real intentions shifted back in, 2005-ish. And it was kind of like a slow nudge because it's hard to get out of that earthly bound thought process, right? But I believe that in 2019, in the summer, I really kind of just was like, yeah, it was like living and breathing it at that point, right? It was growth, right? Because it's a struggle. It is a struggle to have full faith. I had no idea, they say things like, when you find peace with God, he removes things and situations from your life that are unnecessary, right? So you think, oh, maybe this person will go wayside or anything. Oh, no. In November of 2019, when I worked with Millie on the Kentucky elections, and I kind of just blew it all wide open, I went all in. After that day, I think after Thanksgiving, I had this sense of something hard and scary was happening. And in just a couple of days, I didn't even have, crying of how I didn't remove things from my life. They were purged. It was like my whole life around me was set on fire. I couldn't even cry. Crying was like, that's child's play. I was wailing for days, just wailing. And inside, out loud, you name it. And I want people to understand that when you actually commit to your intentions being good, you will be humbled and you will eat dirt like no other. You will be put through fire like no other. And when he removes people from your life, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be like, hey, bye, see you later. It's like, damn. It will rock you to the core because he needs you rocked to the core. And at that point, you're standing so firm in faith. You got that armor on. Nothing can move you after that. So for anyone attempting to waver, I have already won. I'm already in the court system. So I already won. If I win Secretary of State, it's better. If I lose, I still win. Because I still got that cool warranto coming. So either way, I win. Because I don't have aspirations. I don't want to be president, LaRose. I don't want to go to the Senate, LaRose. Chelsea Clark, why don't you just tell people you're a placeholder? You're even saying things that you like, that you heard me say. Because you know the Democrats are voting for me too. And that's the thing. That's the thing. People don't seem to get it. Some people, they're so fixated on some enemies that they don't realize that their enemies sometimes are so big, they circle them to make others their enemy so they can devour them. I want you to think about that for a second. Think about it. So stand firm. I would love all your prayers. I'm actually terrified of that Kathleen person. She's like dangerous. She's obsessed. She stalks me. I'm actually, I'm concerned about my safety. And I'm making that clear on social media. I'm concerned about my safety. From what I've heard from people on Facebook, on the back end, she is really unhinged, you guys, and this is really scary. So, I don't know this person, right? It was just one time they interacted with me a few months ago, and, they were like in my face, like in my space, upset because I wasn't supporting their group. I was like, what? I'm sorry, who? Like, hello? So I got all the security I got. It's God, but, I don't like hurting. On other news, for those that know, thank you very much for donating blood. For those of you that got the prescriptions and did it, that's magnificent. I should be done with my campaigning by Friday night for this week. So I'm going to see if I can actually go down and see him after the surgery. I'm still trying to make that work. I got to get tickets and see if I can actually do it. So again, this is all about Les Wexner. This is all about Epstein. We're focusing on the election machines, which is already a done deal. Karl Rove was one of the spearheads of that. I've talked about this before, right? In 2004, when they stole the election, Karl Rove, which by the way has sex tapes with Ali Akbar, right? Remember that? He got caught fiddling with the elections in Ohio. And I just can't believe that people keep saying, oh, you think the 2020 was stolen? It's been stolen. Are you guys insane? Like, does everybody have amnesia? Does nobody remember that this has been ongoing forever, right? And then seeing Karl Rove on TV, I'm like, who are these Republicans? Are they insane? And then you see like Ali Akbar as if he's a hero. Guys, he's a prostitute for the Tea Party. Okay. He's an asset of the CIA, which is now a cooperating witness with the FBI. He's not your friend. Okay. He's not your friend. Okay. And the funny thing is, it seems that everyone that's connected to Brennan and Obama are targeting me. Every single one of them. I mean, what? Because I'd come out and say that, BHO is gay. Everybody knows that. Right? Everybody knows that. What? You're going to pretend it's not true? I don't stoop to that level, but I do stoop to the level of taking advantage of my country. Right? Trafficking human beings. I saw this fantastic video of a guy saying, why do you believe in God? Well, when you're seeing all of these celebrities and big shots participating in satanic rituals and doing all this, how can you not believe there's a God if they definitely believe there's a Satan? And that's the thing. I again, when I see conservatives throwing themselves, people that claim to be, oh, I'm so Christian, they're fake Pharisees. You're not a Christian. When you vote for people, do you look who funds them? Do you look who supports them? Oh, my husband lost his job because of the Pfizer vaccine, but I'm voting red. And it's like, so all of these guys got money from Pfizer and you're going to go fund them, but you're upset that your husband lost his job at Pfizer. You deserve what you get. Sometimes the 144,000 in the Bible might be an accurate number. Because, a lot of people are half Christians, right? They preach, they take the Bible out, they walk it about, they throw out all these, scriptures, right? Then they throw shade at people like they're righteous. And that there they go, supporting the people that are literally doing the oppressing. Supporting the people committing crimes against children. Supporting the people that committing crimes against humanity. But they're Christian. And they're conservative. And they're like, oh, America. Pharisees. Not only that, some of them are actually just really dumb. Everybody loves to laugh at the left, that spit and foam at the mouth and scream because, they're struggling, right? Cognitive dissonance is real, right? But you don't look at the people on the right that are just like that. They're even weirder. Some of them are obsessed with President Trump, right? And you all know I love President Trump, but I'm not obsessed. Whatever he says, done. I listen to my president too, but not like that. This is it. Like, you can't sit there and judge the other side when you're worse. That's the problem we have. There is no discernment, right? No discernment. None. And we're, perpetuating polarization, right? With all this rubbish. Again, the people targeting me in Ohio is the Epstein network. All linked back to the Ohio GOP and the Democrats, but mostly the Ohio GOP. And that includes Frank LaRose. And I don't think that he's involved in trafficking at all. I think, he's a little bit in over his head with these globalists. That's it. But when my lawyer says I can speak, I will. But I needed to put it out there just so that you guys know that bottom line is they're officially targeting it and they're really upset. I think it's because I raised more money last month than I think the Democrat and the Republican did in a month or something like that. So they're very upset. And thank you all for your donations. This is going to help us for the Supreme Court. Because, we're trying. We finally got some billboards up, but they kind of did something screwy on that. I'm not allowed to be on the media. It's very difficult. But I am quite concerned that people are losing focus. The focus is, if you love your country and if you love your state, then focus on who the enemies are. This is where we need to unite and work together to take them out once and for all. And disallow them from having any power over anything in our lives again. Remember, you're the consumer. but you're also being consumed. On that note, God bless. Heading off to my first event in Beaver Creek. Ciao.